Snakefinger?
Yes.
Hi. This is Dave from WAYN.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Pretty splendid, actually. Very well.
Good. You all refreshed now, and you're woken up and stuff?
Well, I wouldn't say I was 100% refreshed and woken up, but I'm
a little bit better than
heading in that direction. You're not going to get me at my fluid, brilliant best, but I'll certainly give it my all, and we'll see what we can muster out of it.
Okay. You're touring across the country right now?
Actually, across the world.
Across the world.
This is the longest stint on the road I've ever done in my life. It comes out at 4 months with a 1-week break in the middle.
Wow, and where's the tour taking you?
All across America and Canada first, till mid-May. Then we get our little week off to do our laundry, etc., and then through Europe and Scandinavia till July. We have an Australian record company that are making noises about getting us over there in September. So basically the world is looking like a pretty similar thing to what I did with the Residents.
I was going to say, you just got off a tour with the Residents.
That's right, yeah.
How long was that tour?
Approximately a year and a half.
And I know that took you all over the world, too.
Yes, absolutely. Starting in Japan.
So it's just non-stop touring for you. When did you find time to put out the record?
Well, when the Residents and I came back from Australia and New Zealand, they ran off to their studio and did Hank and Frank, and I ran off to get the Vestal Virgins together, and we put Night of Desirable Objects together, which I must admit, hopefully through our production brilliance, you can't tell it, but it was made for less than the cheapest disco single, It was put together in 3 days, basically. If not for the sheer brilliance of the players, it would have been an impossible task.
That's pretty good. See, just out of curiosity, what's it like touring with a bunch of people that wear eyeballs for heads?
Fantastic. It's thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, they're so different from most other people. I mean, not just because of the eyeballs.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very unique experience, and people don't know how to react to you. They don't know how to react to any of the people in the entourage, and they don't know who they're seeing. They don't know whether they're talking to a crew person or an actual resident or a, so it's actually really exciting. It's such a unique experience. I mean, I'm not a hired gun type guitar player. I'm too selfish. I like to play what I like to play, and that's all. And I figure that if I'm not playing stuff I want to play, music's kind of a little sacred to me. So it would be very easy for me to take some other kind of drudge work rather than turn music into drudge work, So I'm not a hired guitar player. I won't just go out with anybody. Mm-hmm. But the Residents, I've been sort of working with them for so long, and they're so totally unique. It's an absolute joy to go out with them. Plus, they indulge my wildest fantasies.
Yeah?
Oh, yes, yeah. Anything I can think of, anything I want to do, the wilder the butter as far as they're concerned. But, that's it. So, for the time being, unless something else fabulously interesting came along, my band or the Residents would be the only people I'd really consider, playing with.
Yeah. What other people have you worked with? Have you worked with other people in the past? Big name. I'm not real familiar with your career. I'm familiar with the Residents and you with the Residents and some of your solo stuff, but.
Well, before that, I worked with, in England, I was working with all those sort of Nick Lowe, Elvis Costello types, and
okay.
And I actually got kind of pally with Hall & Oates for a little while when I got to America.
Oh, that's quite a combination. Hall & Oates and The Residents.
They were making noises in my direction, you know, and they came out to LA to visit me and check out what I was doing after hearing one of my tapes or something. And they were gung ho. They wanted to go ahead and do stuff, you know. So I was about to become a Hall & Oates clone, and they put me onto their manager to finalize the deal, sort of thing.
Mm.
And I guess he thought, well, you know, this guy's just been offered the deal, you know. I can say anything to him, basically. No one's going to be stupid enough to turn this down, you know. So he, you know, treating me like a piece of driftwood on the telephone. And I basically said, no, I'm afraid I'm not interested in this deal anymore. Which is rather fortunate because, you know, if I had gone ahead with that, then it would seem like my future would be pretty much sealed. It would be the one thing, and that would be terrible. I would have never gotten out of my rut.
Yeah, well, thank God he told you. Yeah, he did that to you.
Thank God he rubbed me up the wrong way.
Wow. I wanted to ask you about, well, on Potatoes, and it's also on your album, the Sawney Bean and Sawney's Death Dance.
Well,
what's the background behind that?
Well, it basically came to me when Ralph Records people started asking for a folk song for Potatoes, sort of off-the-wall folk song, and I had a good think about it. And what happened was, when it came to the crunch, I'd remembered reading the story of Sawney Bean, and I basically started going into research about it. So I researched it all to make sure I had all the times and the places, all the names correct. I read various books on historical murderers, etc., etc. And so the basis of it is that it's all completely accurate. All the dates, everything named is absolutely truthful and factual, and it's just written in the style of a sort of 15th century sea shanty type thing, you know. I just pictured the whole scenario and everything. I mean, it just hit a ghoulish funny bone of mine. Thought it was such a fabulous story, such a great subject for a 17th century sea shanty.
Good. So are there any future projects, I mean, after touring, that are coming up for you?
Well, I hate to seem dull and repetitive, but I certainly have a new record inside my brain busting to come out as soon as possible.
That's good.
And of course, the Vestal Virgins, my band, I have to say, I find them so exciting now. We all have new instruments and a new format, and there's 4 of us as opposed to 5 of us, which seems to make an incredible difference in sound clarity, just for a start. Not to mention sort of stage telepathy. With a bigger stage, it's hard to feel hooked in with everybody, but with a smaller amount of people, it's like with the Residents, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy to hook into them because there were so few of us actually playing the music, you know. And with the Vestal Virgins, there's 4 people now. There's an invisible line that runs through us all. It's sort of if one bounces one way, then the other one bounces in another way. It's just a really great feeling. They're all absolutely brilliant musicians. That's one thing about the Residents. They'll be the first person to tell you they're not musicians. That's not what they're about.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what they do, a lot of what they do is show stuff, you know. And a lot of the music is more ligged than anything else. Of course, I think they're brilliant, you know. I think we have more than one genius in one spot. So the fact that they're not musicians or technically proficient, they don't understand the concept of timing in music. It doesn't matter. It just adds to the fun and everything. But, you know, I am a musician. I love the technical side of music. I love to listen to great players, etc. And I like to surround myself with great players, and that's what I've done right now. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back.
So the Vestal Virgin's going to be a permanent part of your band, or, I mean, are you going to continue working with these people on a semi-permanent basis, or?
Well, I hope so. On and off over the past 4 or 5 years, we've sort of been doing this and doing that, and they've all been part of various little groups. I mean, John Ryan, the percussionist, he was just a teenager in San Mateo when I first got turned on to him by Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys in San Francisco. And he hadn't had time to learn any of those bad cliched drumming habits, you know. So he's now a really unique sounding percussionist. He never plays the cliches, you know. And Eric Drew Feldman, of course, who probably never ever did play a cliche in his life. I hated synthesizers until I heard him play. You know, I realized there was a whole other world of things you could do with them. And Ben Guy, the bass player, who has all the perfect, all the perfect things that you could want a bass player to have. Particularly after our last player is now in the Bangles.
Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, don't laugh. She was actually pretty good. But that could be my last chance at being an equal opportunity employer. You know.
Yeah.
It's basically that she didn't want to go on tour with boys. She decided after a while, and we played a few gigs, and it was very good. She was very good also, and you couldn't find a more sort of liberated bunch of chaps than mine, and me also being an equal opportunity employer. But I guess some people just aren't meant to be with members of the opposite sex. It just makes them too tense, you know, if it's not in some sort of a love situation.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of love, how do you like my love song?
Love song?
Yeah, I gave myself to you.
It's really good.
Thanks.
Your album is really it's really good, and well, I mean, I don't think you can do anything wrong, but that's my personal view.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks ever so much.
Because I've admired your career over the years, and your work with the Residents too. I saw the 13th anniversary show when it came to Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I'm still to this day I'm talking about that show. So, but I didn't get a chance to see you last night. How did the show go last night?
Really good. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Get a good turnout.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, Ann Arbor's a good place to play. There's usually there's a good following for alternative bands.
Yeah, it was good. It was real crowded.
Good. So do you have anything you want to say in closing?
Do I have anything I want to say in closing? We'll watch out.
Any philosophies or anything on life?
Well, yes, yeah. Let me see. What do I have to say on life? Oh, I don't know. Not to be discouraged that the majority is only the minority. Only there's more of them. So it doesn't matter whether you're in either one of them. And colors don't clash.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
Have a good tour. And hope to see you sometime again. Hopefully I will be able to see you.
That would be good.
Okay. Thank you very much, Snakefinger.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.